Hi, my name is Joanna. Today I'm presenting an important environmental issue, overfishing. Mainly, I'm going to talk about practical solutions to minimize and work towards ending the devastating effects caused by overfishing. Before we get into some plausible solutions, let's talk about what overfishing is. The official definition, as defined by the World Wildlife Fund, is when vessels catch fish faster than stocks can replenish. According to the Fish Forward project, which is co-funded by the European Union, today, on average, a person eats about 50 pounds of fish, which is around twice as much as 50 years ago. Because of this increase, the Fish Forward project explains that 29% of the world's fish stocks are overfished. 61% of the world's fish stocks are fully fished, and 10% of the world's fish stocks are underfished. So there you have it. Now that we know that we are currently catching more fish than our environment can replenish, why don't we get into the causes of overfishing? So we want to know, how is this overfishing happening? What practices or actions are increasing the risk of overfishing? So for each cause that I'll list, I'll talk about practical solutions that can be put in place by either laws, large companies or corporations displaying environmental awareness, or an individual, such as yourself, by making smart consumer choices. One of the main causes of overfishing is unsustainable fishing. Unsustainable fishing methods are ways of catching fish that are not sustainable or renewable in the long term. Here are some solutions from the movie Revolution's website. So Revolution is a Canadian 2012 documentary film by Robert Stewart that examines the looming environmental causes around the world and how overfishing is part of this damage. These solutions are steps an individual, you, me, millions of Americans, people all around the world can take according to the Revolution website. So, number one, right here, is to avoid big fish, because big fish have been overfished for years. So examples of big fish to avoid are marlin, tuna, and shark. The second solution is to eat small fish. As stated on the website, around 90% of the big fish are gone. That is the second solution. Third solution is to buy food that has the Marine Stewardship Council Sustainable Seafood Seal of approval. Number 4 is to buy local. Seafood caught in North American waters are generally more strict in terms of fishing laws, so there is better regulation in terms of sustainability. Number 5 is to choose alternative methods of protein with omega-3 fatty acids. It's important to realize that not everyone has access to alternative sources of protein other than fish or other meats. The World Wildlife Fund estimates that around 3 billion people depend on fish as a source of protein. So if we or you have access to that, here are some alternatives for fish for the nutrient omega-3. Chia seeds, flax seeds, soybeans, and walnuts. Overall, solutions to this cause of overfishing is by implementing or encouraging sustainable fishing methods by being a smart consumer and sending a message out to fishing companies. Bycatch is another major cause of overfishing. What is bycatch? Bycatch results from fisheries capturing species they did not intend to catch. They end up treating this wildlife as waste. They throw it overboard, dead or barely alive, sometimes discarding more than they keep. Now, if a species is continually overfished, it has the risk of not becoming extinct, but imbalancing the oceanic system and putting other species at risk. So, some solutions to minimize bycatch is to stop trawling. Trawling is an unsustainable fishing method that involves dragging huge nets through the ocean to catch animals. Switch of scenery. So we are going to continue talking about trawling. So trawling, the problem with it is that it catches every single thing in its way, which is not always the fish or the fish that fisheries are trying to catch. Sea turtles, dolphins, seals can be caught in this bycatch. Sometimes even whales get caught in these nets or trawls and can die from exhaustion. There are preventative measures to decrease bycatch. However, the most preventative measure is to just ban trawling completely. This solution is based on a more massive scale, but it is something that organizations whose mission it is to protect wildlife would love to end. Trawling is a very damaging, sad practice that, once banned, could decrease the wound that overfishing has made. To conclude this presentation, there are many practical possible solutions for overfishing. There are plenty of organizations with proper funding to create extensive statistical research on how we can end overfishing, how companies can end overfishing, and how we can create bans on practices that contribute to overfishing. Thanks for watching.